Alright, guys.
Yeah.
I'll do.
This is testing 101.
Yeah, you could.
Let's see.
Yeah, go ahead.
Madhar.
Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of Blank Confidential, where we talk about everything and anything. So today we have a panel of guests over here, who, as you can see, are quite well dressed up, contrary to, yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys know how well dressed I am. So guys, welcome to the episode.
Thank you.
So guys, typically on the show, we start off with an introduction of each of the speakers, like related to the topic of what we're going to talk about. So why don't we start off with you, Akshat?
Okay. So, hi everyone. I'm Akshat. And I really don't know how to say where I'm from because it's a very mixed story. But then, yeah, I am a very proud Bihari. But yeah, currently I'm based out of Delhi and right now in Manipal. So yeah, that's about it. And I'm a BTech student.
So, Akshat, I've been meaning to ask you this for a long time,
Yeah.
You're someone who's grown up in a lot of different places.
Yeah.
Right? And contrary to someone who's like spent 18 years in Bangalore, how is it different, like growing up in all these places? Like, what's the experience been like?
The experience, I'd say, has been quite expanding, in the sense you pick up so many skill sets, so many cultures, and so many things from other places that you're sort of an amalgamation of all of these places. So, like, in terms of languages, I think it's helped me quite a lot. Like, I know my range is from Punjabi to Marathi. So, I mean, these languages that I've picked up along the way have helped me connect with people more. And like anybody I see, I have something in common. Like I've been to that city, or I'm like, oh yeah, this place, right? And they're like, yeah. So I think that really helps you expand your network. And again, so are we talking about the topic now? Because it helps in that as well. So introduce the topic.
Yeah, so today, I hope you guys guessed from how we're dressed up today. We're going to be talking about fashion. And, I've been told a lot of times that I need to up my fashion game, My friend Anmol will definitely know this, that I come pretty homeless to class.
Yeah.
And I think Akshat knows.
Yeah, I know that very well.
How homeless I come to class. Because he just told me, like, he's not seen these Bermudas, like, since
1996.
So, we're going to be talking about a little bit of fashion, kind of how fashion has evolved over the years, what are the crazy trends going on these days.
Yeah.
So, why don't we start off with Shreya? Shreya, what is it about fashion that makes it so appealing to you?
See, one thing that not a lot of people know in Manipal is I was actually absolutely against fashion. I was like, why the hell will you torture yourself with clothes you don't like or you're not comfortable with? But then I think as I grew up, I started to understand what my father meant when he said, you need to dress according to the situation. So when it was in time and place, I think fashion more like means to me that we all say don't judge a book by the cover, but then at the end of the day when you enter a room, first thing they're going to see is how you look. So if you do not look appealing to them, they're not going to initiate talking to you or anything for that. So it gives a very nice icebreaker as well. So I think I associate fashion with a lot of emotions or body language for that, say. So that is what fashion is to me.
That's interesting. It's kind of interesting that, how we associate something materialistic. We generally don't want to associate materialistic things to people, but then we give so much priority towards clothes. How do you think that's evolved so far? Like, why do we even perceive clothes to judge someone?
Well, if you go back to history, fashion was more of a way of telling someone your standard. So if someone's wearing something very rich or heavily clothed, it showed their standard, that they are high in the hierarchy of the whole cultural background there. So the kings and the queens, they had a lot of jewelry and everything. But that is now, like, since the monarchy has kind of disintegrated right now, it's more we associate fashion with, again, standard itself, but how we want to make the other person appeal. So, like, if the other person is seeing us like, okay, oh, this person is dressed like this, oh, she's wearing a very Chanel handbag per se. So, they'll be like, oh, wait, they're rich. Or it's a mind standard that builds fashion. So, yeah, that is the importance of it, I guess.
That's a pretty interesting point of view. But you know, like sometimes you know, my mom's always been a fashionista, you know, dressing me up in frocks because she was kind of disappointed that I wasn't a girl. So, but I've never like appealed towards clothes. You know, like clothes never. It was never a priority to me because I felt that I wanted to be someone known for my own personality and like, you know, my opinions and like my intelligence rather than based on my clothes. So do you think it's changing in today's world, or do you think our generation still gives a lot of priority towards fashion? What do you think? Okay, Adisha, you can go ahead.
See, I think that first, our generation where everything is changing so fast, and even like every other day we have a new trend coming up in fashion, and it's fashion has become like a form of art instead of like earlier where it used to be just a necessity that you know you need to be clothed, that's why you're wearing something, it doesn't have any meaning behind it. Like Shreya said, it was a status bar, it decided like what class of the society you belong in. But right now, if personally for me, fashion is in a lot of ways a power statement. It's like I am a very, like, I won't say very, but yes, I lean more towards being an introverted person. So I don't like making conversations. So I try to dress a certain way so that maybe people will ask about it, or maybe people will be intrigued by the way I'm dressed. Or I like taking up different styles and addressing that way because that first of all brings up my different alter egos and it gives me a lot of confidence. So, and even like you took my blank interview and I came up dressed up in all formals, and
Yeah,
I think Ramana was there and he asked me like why am I wearing all formals, because that is again a conversation starter. So I think that fashion in its entirety is like a very great thing. Like earlier I didn't used to care so much about it, but now it's like everything that you wear, every single piece, even if it's just your shoes or a trouser or any maybe a ring or a pendant that you're wearing, everything like matters. It like small things, they bring together an entire outfit and it decides. So if someone is entering a room wearing all formals, a proper black power suit, I'll be intimidated by them. I'll be very intimidated by them. And that is a power that they have over the room, over the crowd, that I decide how I want to be perceived that day. Maybe I want to be seen as someone who's very friendly and maybe shy, so I'll dress that way. So fashion is a way of expression. It's a form of art at this point.
I see. You know, since you talked about a lot about expression and all of
Yeah.
that, and you know, I've been meaning to ask you this as well, since you're pretty active on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
as I can see,
Mhm.
right? You're a Microsoft intern, I believe.
Yeah.
Could you just like
Student
talk a
ambassador.
little bit about it? Because typically on this podcast, we
Mhm.
try to help out anybody who's watching. We're not like limiting it only towards like college students or whatever. Anybody should like watch this because I'm a huge believer that you need to watch something that adds value into your life.
Yeah.
So could you like talk a little bit about how that experience has been working with Microsoft, and how did you get into this?
So it was a completely random decision that I made, that I wanted to apply for it because I am in this student club called ACMW, where a senior of mine was already a student ambassador for Microsoft, and she had written an article on Medium about the whole process of how to apply. And she sent the link on the group and she was like, I wrote this article and you guys can go through it. The applications are open and it will close around end of November. And we were having our exams that time, like our NSEMs were happening, and everyone was on a very tight and busy schedule, so no one really read it. But I was just sitting around like and reading the article, and I thought like why not apply, because about this program the best thing is that you don't have to be an expert in tech to be able to apply. Like in most internships or in most opportunities, it's like they have some prerequisite that you need to know this or you need to have a proper portfolio or something like that. But for this you just need to be curious about tech. You just need to be need to have like the ability to connect with people and to say that you know what, I can connect with a community and I can bring them together and talk about tech. So the application process was pretty simple. We had to answer 3 questions. 2 were essay based, 1 was a video question. So I answered those questions, and I remember being very sick. The next day I had my BET exam, and I was like literally on the verge of breaking down because I still had to shoot the video. So I shot it in my hostel room. I had plans of going somewhere else with a better background, but then I was very sick, so I just shot it there and submitted the application. I wasn't even expecting, because I wasn't happy with the work that I did with the video. Like, I made a lot of effort in the essay answers, but the video didn't seem very well shot. But I got into the program, and it has been a great experience. They provide you with a lot of resources to learn more about Microsoft's resources, like Azure, how to use it, how to optimize your LinkedIn, how to use LinkedIn Learn, and most important is building a community. They connect students and people all around the world. If I want, I can collaborate sitting here in Manipal. I can collaborate with a student in US or in Mexico, or in, even I have had talked with other MLSAs who are sitting in Pakistan. And even after all the India-Pakistan rivalry that we have, even after that, they are so welcoming. Everyone, the whole community is so welcoming. And during the Women's Day, we had a conference, and that conference were like women in tech all over the world talking about their experiences in the tech industry, in corporate, and what they learned throughout their lives, sharing insights with other students, with other people, so that all of us can grow together as a community. And like, they never make you feel like you don't know anything, because I am very new to tech. I'm an amateur
Don't you dare call me bot. I am noob.
to learn things, and there are always people to help you, there to help you, and they will listen to you. You just drop a text and they'll be there and help you through all of it, through the whole process.
That's super interesting. You know, it's especially to someone who's like not into tech and like has like, it's actually really good hearing that you don't have to have any technological background for this, because I think that's what intimidates a lot of people,
Yeah.
right? You know, I need to learn coding, I need to learn this language, I need to learn a stack or whatever.
Yeah.
It's actually quite refreshing to hear that like you don't need a tech background for this. So I hope it definitely helps anyone watching this. So you know, so Akshat, you're someone who's a bit of a fashionista, as I can
Okay.
see. Like, most of the time, you focus a lot on your fashion.
Yeah.
What is about what clothes appeal to you? What is your fashion sense? What is your fashion style, you would say?
If I had to border as to what I love wearing the most, I think it's quite funny because it seems very outdated, but I'm like super into semi-formals. Like,
Nice.
I would rock a high neck and an overcoat over a pair of loose jeans any day. Because, you know, it's just, so if you watch Friends, the fashion era portrayed in that from season 1 to season 7 is exactly how I would describe myself. You know,
Interesting.
loose formal shirts
Yeah.
with jeans. I think that would be my go-to.
What's up, Joey?
How you doing?
But then, you know, they say when in Rome, do as Romans do. So it depends on the occasion where you're going. Like today you said fashion, right?
Yeah.
And I did put a lot of thought into it. So I like wore this shirt which is like sort of crocheted.
Crochet.
Okay. And then I'm wearing a black vest underneath it, a distressed one. And then I'm wearing baggy jeans. It's because you need to piece an outfit together. Okay, for it to have that impact. You were talking about how you don't think, you don't give much priority to clothes because you want to be right for your personality. I think your clothes are a very important part of your personality.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, so it's like a additional factor. Your personality is made up of many things. So my grandfather, he was in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Now, as a kid, up till the age of 15, I was not allowed to step out of my house if I was not wearing shoes. And then Crocs came into the picture. So that I was allowed. Okay, so I think these things play a very important role because when you go out and if you're in couples, I'm not saying you are less qualified. All I'm saying is, yes, we live in a materialistic world. We are in a material world.
Yeah.
You can't deny that fact any longer, you know. So
True.
people will judge you on the basis of your outfit, on your appearance. Like a person with a proper trimmed beard or a clean shave is more likely to please people than a person with an irregular beard and wearing chappals.
So you're saying me cutting my beard in half wouldn't make me look more attractive?
No, Karan. It wouldn't. No, but then imagine, Karan, if tomorrow you come to a position where you actually have to hand out something meaningful to the world and you have to choose a team for yourself, who are you more likely to give it to? A person dressed in shorts and t-shirt or a person who's come dressed in formals, as she said? Who
That's
are you
beautiful
more likely to
question.
give it to? And as you said, you know, judging a book by its cover, I mean, people quite literally do that. When you go to a library or a bookstore, a book with a nice illustrious
Nice
cover
illustrious.
is more likely to get more things. See, as an author, I can tell you that people make sure that their books look better so that they have this selling factor. And I think your personality is your selling factor. It's your USP, you know,
USP.
unique selling point.
Unique selling point.
So I think that's how fashion or how I dress up plays a very important role. Like you'll always see me with a watch, a ring. This and this one bracelet, so I have this matching with my sister. And it's like very cute because like, you know, she's far off and she's like, oh, I don't have anything else. So this is our, you know, bonding effect. She'll always see me with these because as she said, every single ring, every single earring, every
Yeah.
single piece that you add to your outfit makes your outfit.
I see.
So it's very important, I think, to add it. So like my grandfather, he would always wear a watch. My grandmother, she always wears a watch. I have this thing for watches. My sister does not like watches at all. My bua wears them for the practicality purpose of it. But then, so you know, these are small things. Like, so my grandmother, if I see my grandmother not wearing gold, it's very, you know, like, oh my god, how is she not wearing gold? You know, because these things make you. This is your personality. Like the day I don't wear a watch, it's still a habit to look at time like this. It's not, oh yeah, okay, oh, what's the time? It's still a watch thing.
Still a watch, yeah.
And it'll forever be. So
Yeah.
I think that's what makes or breaks it.
That's interesting. It's kind of like adds on to like an accessory on your hand, and it kind of becomes a part of you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
More or so.
So, I mean, even with the phone, right?
Yeah.
No matter what phone you have, as much as you accessorize it, it looks better.
It looks
True.
better, yes.
So, I mean, see, if you have a phone and you have a proper tempered glass on it, people say, oh, okay, this guy. So, you know, these things actually go down to the deeper values of yourself, you know. Like, if you see that this person takes care of something, you're like instantly like, oh, he must take care of himself
Yeah.
or the people around him. That's why he's taking care of for menial things such as a phone.
I see.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that's more associated, like, as a personality trait than just a hoo-ha thing, you know,
Hoo-ha
like
thing.
it's not a show-off factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we buy a lot of there are a lot of brands, as we all know. How much do brands like affect your buying, and like why do you buy into a brand?
I would like I am a person who doesn't really give into brands. Like earlier I used to, because my dad has a tendency to be a very brand person who will only wear certain brands and only wear like certain pieces from certain brands, and he would always be like, I want branded clothes in my wardrobe, in my closet. And he used to like scold me, my mom and me as well, because we were like, we don't really need brands. As long as the piece is of good quality and looks good on you, it doesn't really matter if it's from a good brand or it's just a random, maybe a fast fashion site, or maybe something that I found like on a random store. So for me, brand is not something that is a deciding factor of any clothes, any piece that I buy. It's always how it looks on me, because there are a lot of trends going on, there are a lot of brands in the hype and everyone is talking about it, but not everything resonates with everyone. there is a certain style, or there is a certain piece of cloth that resonates with me, my personal style, makes me feel comfortable in my skin. So that is more important than choosing brand, and I feel like that is something that a lot of people need to learn as well, because right now we see a lot of influencers on social media talking about different brands and different products, be it like clothes or be it like makeup or anything like that. It's like it's always a hype around something. Maybe it's not that useful for me, maybe it is useful for her but not for me, but I am buying it only because first of all she's buying it, and second of all it's a popular brand.
Yeah.
So why is that a deciding factor for me? When I'm spending my money, it should be something that satisfies my needs. It makes me feel good, not because it is like society accepts it, and because everyone is talking about it, that's why I'm having it. It doesn't really make sense, and I think we need to make that decision like very carefully, that what we want, if we even need it. If you need it, then it's perfectly fine, then buy it from whatever brand you want. But if you don't need it, if it doesn't resonate with you, if you don't like it, then there's no point in buying it just because it's from a particular brand or just because a particular influencer said so.
So actually right now, okay, I'll speak with right now. Right now for me, when you said, you know what your deciding factor is, why you shop at a particular brand, is because you know they make clothes to your fitting. And you know, this sizing is such a big scam because a double XL from say H&M is loose to me, whereas a double XL from a brand called Netplay sold in Max is very small for me. So sizing is a very big issue. So you know, people often take their head to that oh my god, okay, I'm not fitting into a double XL here. But there are chances you'll probably fit into a double XL somewhere else because it's not standard sizing, right?
Exactly.
So for me, my wardrobe is a complete journey. I have t-shirts I've bought for 50 rupees from Sarojini to designer stuff. Because as she said, it depends on what fits you the best, you know. So my dad, he refused to buy me anything branded until the age of 11. Because he was like, it's a waste of money, as she said it, right? Because you're going to outgrow these things in a year.
Yeah.
Why would I spend... So, I mean, it's not like he bought me cheap stuff. But then, so suppose if I had to buy a pair of shoes, so he would rather buy me a pair of shoes from Nike that were 2,000 rupees instead of a 20,000 pair of shoe.
Yeah.
Because you're going to grow out of it. It's not a long-term investment. And my dad's an MBA, so his investment factor, risk factor comes into play every time I buy something. And my grandmother's a teacher, so when she buys things, her rationale comes in. She's like, oh, how much are you going to use it? How much is it going to affect your daily life? And my grandfather was in the defense, so his perspective would be, is it practical? What's the standard operating procedure you're planning to do with this? So for me, buying clothes was like deciding on foreign policy. So I think that way we sort of grow as a person. So before buying every piece that you own, you need to see if you can rock it.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
If you're wearing it, you feel like, oh my god, I am, you know,
You're right.
yeah, I'm it. I was about to say something else. Yeah, like, you know, I'm like on top of the world, you know. So you can't really place it on a brand to always make things that are as per your liking.
That's very
Like,
true.
I'll give you this. So bags, handbags, purses. Gucci makes amazing bags. Louis Vuitton makes amazing bags. Chanel makes amazing bags. But now the trend is to carry around a bag smaller than your phone.
Yeah.
What's that? And why is it 1,000 euros?
It makes no sense. Honestly, what are you
The
going to
mini-
store inside that?
Exactly. Like,
And then there are influencers justifying it. Like, oh my god, see how much I can store, and it's a pair of keys and 2 chapsticks. I'm like, yeah, sure. See, in India, we look up to our elder females because they carry a grocery mart in their bags. You find everything from hankies, tissues to food. You know, you're out on a road trip and you're like, I'm hungry, and your grandmother's just like, oh yeah, 1 second. And she pulls out an entire hamburger.
It's a Doraemon's pocket.
Yeah. So it's a Doraemon's pocket, quite literally. So I think the practicality of it should matter. because a lot of things we don't realize how they came into existence. Purses came into existence because ladies had to carry a lot more stuff to keep themselves, in order.
Yeah.
So that's why they had handbags, whereas men didn't have to do that. So that's how purses became a trend, and that's why they still carry on. So now they're ridiculing it to a small pouch, and I don't think that's fair. Okay, that's fair if you sell for 50 rupees. He's selling it for 1 lakh rupees just because you embroidered your fashion brand on it. And by that I mean no harm, because these same fashion houses, they make a lot of things which are very worthwhile. So like I would rather invest in a phone case from them,
Phone case.
because it will keep me company than in a pouch bag like that. So yeah.
Makes sense. You're a huge fan of Harry Styles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say that.
He wears a skirt around.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Him.
What do you guys like? What do you guys think about men and women like cross dresses?
Okay. I'm so sorry, Shreya. Considering that he called me a Harry Styles fan, and you asked me that question particularly, I'll say just this one piece, then we'll go to Shreya's answer. I think what a person wears is their choice. We are nobody to comment on what they wear, how they wear it, where they wear it, unless it's obscene for a particular occasion. Like if you show up in pajamas to a white tie event, I'm sorry, you deserve the hate.
Wow.
But
that's what I was gonna wear to your
wedding, I'm so sorry, Karan. If you do that, I'm cancelling my wedding.
You could just uninvite him.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Wow. Okay. I get it.
But then
Okay.
also Harry Styles wearing a skirt, I think it's a moment. It's like he is the moment right there. As a man, if you're wearing skirts, you're showing support for a community that doesn't feel included. So you have to look at the larger cause and meaning behind it.
Yeah.
Harry Styles cross dresses a lot, if you would call it that, because I've only seen him wear a skirt once. But then, so even if he wears those tank tops, I don't think clothes should be gender conformed, like
Yeah.
clothes are universal. Like if I like an overcoat that my grandmother has, I would wear it. I would not mind it.
So do you think it's okay for me to just wear a skirt and just come to class?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
You do you, girl. So, I mean, see, so technically, when your sister steals your oversized t-shirts and your shirts, isn't that cross-dressing? Shouldn't that be looked down upon?
But then aren't shirts like? What is the mindset behind building something? Okay, this is made for all genders and this is made for gender specific. Why was that ever like made?
So, again, this came from a long chain of thoughts. And not since now, since a long time back.
What do you think What do you think determines these like thoughts? I always like talking about history and human psychology.
So,
What is it about?
do you know the brand Victoria's Secret, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a lingerie brand,
Yeah,
right?
it's a lingerie brand. Have you seen the fashion shows?
Yeah.
You haven't? Okay, so
It's quite
if you look at their fashion shows, they're so pink and so feminine. You know who it is run by?
Who?
A man.
Yeah,
So
I get it.
these thoughts that a skirt is feminine and a pant is masculine is something that has been put into our brains for a very long time. Okay, it has not it's not something that is natural, because nobody can
It's
make a piece of cloth.
Conditioned to think
Exactly.
that way.
Like, oh my god, a man wearing pink, oh, he's gay. I'm sorry. And now it's a thing. So when somebody compliments my outfit or somebody calls me gay because of the way I'm dressed, I'm like, I'll take that as a compliment, because that just means our fashion sense is good. I mean, see, I know who I am, right? If I'm telling you I'm straight, I'm straight. But if you think I'm gay because of the way I'm dressed, sounds like a you problem.
You problem.
Yeah, you were saying, sure.
See, as much as I have seen, I think fashion is also used as a statement to make. So when Harry Styles wears a skirt, like AB said, it is for a community recognition. Now, one more example of that would be Diana's revenge dress. She made a statement there, like, he cheated. She's like, okay, I don't care, let me come more dressed than I have been. So that is a statement. So one of that impacts the society. It is actually known till today. Okay, Diana's revenge dress is known till today because it made a very huge statement. And when people actually cross gender dress, So it's also making a statement that okay, we accept things, and it is also making it the new normal for the people who are not actually born with it to accept it. So it gets hard for them, and that kind of helps bridging.
So, okay, so you talked about Diana, you talked about Harry Styles. When we talk about these people, what do you realize? They are influential people.
Yeah.
So if you start a trend at that level, you carry further that, you give empowerment. And before anything, Diana was mother. She mothered everywhere. That revenge. So, and as you said, she was wearing more than she does. No, it's the opposite. She was wearing lesser than she was allowed to,
Not more than she does.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean the
Like,
dressed in the
So
impact.
Diana did a lot of things. So at Prince Harry's school event, they were doing a mother's running, okay,
Yeah.
and the official said that you can't run because you're wearing a skirt. Her response was, so what? Other mothers are also wearing a skirt, and then she ran. So you need to set those standards for people to follow up further. And Diana later on, she moved after she was no longer a official royal, she was an honorary royal. She would go around wearing shorts and sweatshirts and pajamas and stuff like that. And that was deemed normal. Imagine if after the divorce, Prince Charles started wearing skirts around. I think it is very so I think this is sexism in a way, because why is it normal for women to wear masculine clothes and very looked down upon for men to wear?
Wear feminine clothes.
No,
Said
clothes is a big leap. Colors.
Colors, yeah.
If you see a man in lavender, you're like, oh my god, why is he wearing lavender? Come on, I like the look of lavender on me. I just think that's unfair, and I think that should not be the norm. So that is why when Harry Styles goes around wearing a yellow suit and a pink feather boa to Oscars, it's a statement. It's telling people out there to be more comfortable in their skin and what they feel they are more comfortable in.
Do you guys think, I saw this really interesting Instagram post. It was like a comparison between like cars back in the day. You can think of like the most obscene colors, like just a yellow and neon green car and stuff like that. But like nowadays, everyone just prefers like black or like brown or something. Do you think the world has evolved into something that's less colorful over the years?
We have minimalized things to such level that everything lacks character at this point. It's like, so let's talk about our grandmothers and our mothers. They used to wear these like extravagant sarees and jewelry and so much to like these functions and all, and now we see everyone in the same basic black saree. Why are we not putting in effort to express ourselves through colors, through patterns, through like, why do we want to merge into everything? Why not stand out? Like, okay, maybe some people would judge you, but there would be double the amount of people who would think, wow, she looks cool.
Yeah, like
he
she's
looks
making a
great.
statement. Yeah.
They look confident. And that is what fashion is about, right? Why are we seeing so many fashion shows having these bizarre concepts, different kinds of styles? Because it is a form of expression at the end of the day. Our mothers did it, our fathers did it, our grandfathers did it, everyone did it. Why are we so like, okay, I don't want to let people know
You
that
know-
I like this color, or maybe I like to dress up. Why not?
I-
I like to dress up, I'll show I like to dress up.
I think the major reason for that is also the fear of judgment.
Yeah.
Boiling down to it, because it's not matching up with the recent trend of it. Adisha, okay, you're the first year, right? I'm a second year. You just passed out of school.
Yeah.
To your farewell, what was the thing girls wore the most?
Sequin sarees.
A black sequin
Black
sari?
sequin
Exactly.
sari.
Oh my
Everyone.
god. Every girl I spoke to in school, what are you wearing for your farewell? Oh, I'm wearing a black sari.
And it's not fixed to girls. It's not limited to girls. Even guys that fix sequin black or dark blue, navy blue kurta, suit, and like a patiala under
Yeah.
that. Like it's fixed. Everyone is
And for
wearing that.
suits, it's a black suit with a black shirt with 3 buttons open.
And like, sleeves rolled up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So for my farewell, I wore a 3-piece tuxedo with suspenders. I was that kid because I was like, if I'm doing this, I'm doing this right. Okay, and I was not in the fear of judgment. Okay, because I got the hype I need from my family. Oh, you look so good. You know, you're like doing it right. And I went there, and I was very afraid that people will not like it. But I went up on the stage and I danced to Jaye Jaye, wo wala jo gana hai, ek baar. Okay, I danced to that wearing suspenders. Okay, and that's a statement. My principal came to me. He's like, Akshat, you did it, man. I mean, you did it. That's what my principal said to me, and I was like, understandable. Okay, and coming down to what our grandmothers or what our, you know, so my grandmother's, she has, I don't know how many saris. It's impossible for me to count. But on the other hand, she also has these extravagant gowns.
Yeah.
And, you know, recently due to trends, she was like, oh, am I overdoing it? I'm like, no.
Yeah,
Mother,
of
you're
course.
going to be wearing this everywhere. It's come to a point where me and my sister, we like started calling dibs on her clothes. So we were like, oh, okay, no. This is, after you think you're done with it, I'm keeping it. No matter how torn it is. So I think we should, you know, really get that sense of, and okay, so for colors, I think the world goes in cycles. You know, up till 60s, everything was black, grey, brown. Then
True.
60s to 2000s was the colorful punk era.
Punk era.
And then after that, it's again the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the minimal brown, black,
So you think
grey,
we will
beige.
go
We'll go back again to color. We already are. You
We
can see
already
the
are,
gradual
yeah.
change.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
you're at your midlife crisis, you're just like wearing like
I
red
want-
and polka shorts.
Yeah,
Polka
I
pants.
want my midlife crisis to look something like this. I am on a beach.
That's not crisis. you
No,
know?
listen. So I want my crisis to look like this. I mean, it's better to cry in a BMW than on a cycle. So I'm on a beach underneath a neon umbrella, okay, sipping on a martini that is pink in color.
Martin.
Okay, man.
And I'm wearing a cord set that has flamingos drawn on it. So why be basic when you can go out? you know?
Exactly.
And even as a minimal person, you can go all out. Black outfits can any day steal the day as long as you wear them right.
Exactly.
You know, you don't have to pair it up with a lot of things. That's where silver, gold, these things come into picture. You wear accessories to accentuate the black and the basic hues of it. So I think that's something that people do not take into account a lot. And I think we should do that more.
Definitely. So you know, Akshat, you traveled a lot, right?
Yeah.
What are the like cultural differences in terms of clothing that you've seen around several states? Like how does the dressing sense vary from Bangalore to Delhi to Mumbai? How does it like vary?
Okay, so Delhi is a very mixed culture. Okay, Delhi is, you'll see the most liberal people and you'll see the most conservative people. So, but there is this freedom of expression that comes with Delhi. Okay, you'll see people wear everything. Okay, so for winters, you'll see people wear coats. Okay, you'll see a normal man also in a coat, which is quite, I think, uplifting to a point, because coats were a sign of being rich. Okay,
True.
to which now they're not. Okay, so I think that's very empowering. But then you go to a place like Bombay. My dad's currently based in Bombay. I think people overreact to winters. I mean,
Just overreact to winter.
I mean, it goes below 24. Their sweater and monkey caps come out. I mean, people in Delhi who are freezing in 2 degrees Celsius also don't wear monkey caps anymore. You don't need it in Maharashtra.
Yeah.
And then we come down to Bangalore. See, Bangalore is still developing. It's still, you know, accommodating to everything. And it's not a bad thing. But I think that Karnataka or southern states are still more conservative than the northern states.
So you're saying northern states are a little more expressive in terms of their...
Yeah, in the sense, you know, there you can do whatever you want and nobody would care.
Okay.
Here, at least people still, you know, take heed to what you're wearing, what you're doing, and how you are doing it. And I don't know if you agree to it or you don't agree to it, but it's something just that I have noticed. Like, I was in Trichy, right? In Trichy, for me to wear, you know, normal pair of shorts and a very good graphic designer t-shirt, people would give me looks. And I was like, it's just a t-shirt. If they see me wearing a crochet shirt, I'm pretty sure they'll lose their minds. You know, because I think that's where, you know, principality of looking at things comes into picture. Because, you know, how do you define something as obscene or, you know, fit for the occasion? Is the occasion,
Is the occasion.
Yeah.
you know? So when it has been defined what your dress code is, it should be that way. Like, there's a college, I won't name it, which recently passed out a thing saying that girls can't wear crop tops and you know, things like that to college. But you don't realize that this college is based in a place where it is so extremely hot. Okay, your classrooms may or may not have ACs, but that doesn't matter. We spend our time walking a kilometer or two to class, right? This is a feedback I've gotten from a person at that college. So, you know, I think to say that, oh, you can't wear a tank top to a class or a sleeveless top to a class, I think that's unfair. When it comes to, oh, you can't wear a crop top, that I think is okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But you can't limit so much, okay? Like, what are we supposed to do? You know? If our college did that ever, I think that would not be taken.
That wouldn't be accepted.
Yeah, because it's so hot in Manipal. Genuinely,
I
it's
swear.
so hot.
Yeah.
It's 35 degrees in February. Are you kidding me? It should be illegal. And our college is built on a hill. So technically Manipal is a hill station that's hot. I don't know how that happens.
You need to create a difference, man. Hill stations are cold. You want to expect something different.
Sorry, I don't want to
We'll
expect this ever. So yeah, that's the only thing. I think your fashion also depends a lot on the area you live in. So for people in Bombay, you'll see a lot more people in sleeveless than you'll see in a place like Bangalore. Because Bangalore's weather does not require you to be
Required.
sleeveless.
True.
You know, so that's the thing. Like, I used to live in Pune.
Yeah.
Pune is like amalgamation of both. You see all kinds of clothes there. And like I came from places like Jaipur and Ahmedabad where it used to get so cold. So in winters I would just go to the school in a full sleeve shirt and my friends would be shocked because they were wearing coats, sweaters and monkey caps. Like, I haven't worn a monkey cap in 2nd grade. You know, after it became synonymous with kidnappers.
You know, speaking about caps, whatever happened to hats? I just see nobody wearing hats and caps. All
Hey,
of a
wait,
sudden.
quite the contrary. I mean, it is there, but it's not in a very generic form of a way. Now, hats have a little bit of standard. There is, I think, the cowboy hats go with certain look only. It's not. And
You'll see 50 people wearing cowboy hats.
see, that is how ideally it should be worn, I guess, with the fashion trend happening right now. But if you see caps, there are actually hats in the sense they're used in the fashion shoots more. Like the photo shoots, there are a lot of things they use with the caps, and I think it kind of gives a look of a certain era sort of thing. So,
Did you ever have a YOLO cap? YOLO, yo, I rock, style, swag.
I did, but that was because I was doing a dance with the cap.
No, I had it. I wore it to places. It was my Facebook profile picture in a cap that said boss. And it had a neon this thing. Like, she feels so cool wearing it. And now I look at it, I'm like, oh my god.
You guys miss those old trends of like, you remember on the back of cars, people used to write like, catch me if you can, and stuff like that. Do you guys miss
You
those?
know what people write now?
What?
I mean, it's... So, I don't know if that happened in South India, North Indian trucks. Horn okay please.
Horn okay please.
Oh, that is there everywhere.
And then बुरी नजर वाले तेरा मुंह काला. और क्या और भी कुछ ऐसे बहुत.
I have
See,
seen
every
these.
truck in North India has Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Which I have nothing against it. It's great.
Huh.
You
It's
sh-
great.
But it's like Buri Nazar Wala, Tera Muh Kala is this side. And so it's like there becomes a very weird combination between those two phrases. So it's like Buri Nazar Wala, Beti Bachao.
Exactly.
And it's like,
तेरा मुंह काला बेटी पढ़ाओ. So you know you're like okay sorry.
What do I do?
And then as the truck passes you please use dipper at night. I think our trucks in North India are more decked out than the biggest models in the country.
know.
They have tassels and they have pom-poms and
Beautiful
whatnot and their horn is like
I think over here we had the Dhumachale like song
Yeah.
and you're like taking a reverse.
That's
It's
even
like,
not cycles.
Huh.
People put that horn.
Huh.
Cycle
So if
horns.
you're like driving on a highway in North India, you should know that their horns are outrageous. So my grandfather, right, he used to tell me, listen, whenever you're driving, two people be afraid of. It's like, who? Truck drivers and auto drivers. Because auto drivers, they'll come from anywhere. And truck drivers, they'll come right behind you and horn so bad you lose your balance. Like, which is fair.
I think
Sorry, go on.
the way the truck behind the truck, this thing I've observed in Bangalore, a lot of autos have that.
Yeah.
So they have advertisements. They have very weird things. They have like I think Cupid and everything behind it with the hearts. And
I have
everything.
seen Jesus is my first love in Bangalore auto.
Bangalore autos are up there.
Yeah.
It's very common
Fair
for
enough.
us.
Do you think Jesus is hot?
We are going way off. We went from fashion to drugs to Jesus is
Yeah. But then, see, coming down to the fashion part of it, between North and South, I think that's the major shift I've seen. And you know, I think in North, 90s are more popular.
Yeah.
Whereas in South, I think, you know, pajama and t-shirts are more popular, even in women. In North, it is, I think, very different to see a woman going to sleep in shorts and t-shirts as compared to a full nightie. You know, so I was talking to my friend in the US and I was like, yeah, my grandmother's just wearing her gown to sleep. She's like, oh my god, you're so fancy. We wear our gowns to special events. I'm like, honey, this is a 150 rupee nightie. I mean, I don't know how much it is. I'm sure it's not that cheap. But like, it's for
Like
sleeping.
90s,
It's
yeah.
for sleeping. So even with nighties, my grandmother has so many nighties and they're so intricate. You know,
They have this pattern and
Yeah.
embroidery
so
and good girl
exact-
literally.
no, not like that. I'm sorry, my grandmother would not wear that. But that's
Some kind of weird
Huh.
embroidery done on it
my
with a random ass cartoon character or
That's
something like that.
that's recently. So I've seen so much Frozen stuff. I used to love that movie. Started hating it. You know, I saw this mat with Elsa, and then my sister put foot on it, and she looked like Gelsa. Like her face got completely distorted. Okay, so nighties, right? So my aunt, she owns this one particular nightie. It's a winter nightie. It's made out of velvet. It's royal blue in color with embroidery all over the neck. I'm like, that's so fancy, and use it for sleeping. but then I think that's where we lost class. You know, we lost the elegance part of it. Before, fashion used to be a big thing. To wear the color purple,
Yeah.
you had to be a noble person.
Yeah.
Because
That's
it
true.
came from a special kind of snails and they had to extract it from and then use it. Okay? And a lot other things that came along with these fashion trends were this simplicity of it, you know. Like if you look at anything from the West in the early days, it was very monochrome. Like, you know, it was the same color
Similar
at least.
colour, yeah.
Okay? But then you come to the West of it and you see so many patterns and you see
Yeah.
so much, you know,
Character,
enthusiasm, you see
like-
so much character, you see so
Yeah.
much build up of this entire personality. Like if you look at Rajasthani clothes,
Yeah.
you'll be blinded, like quite literally too, because they use a lot of mirrors on it. Okay, so like when I was in Ahmedabad, you know, my you know, so when I was with my family, so my dad's ex-wife, she got me this entire set of Gujarati outfits. It was the dhoti and it was like that kurta with a cap, and it had so many mirrors. And all of my friends were like, oh my god, can I look at myself? I'm like, okay. So, you know, all of that comes along with it. Like, I think that's a bit awesome. Like my wedding, I've told my friends, I'm like, if I get married, it's a Met Gala event. if you show up in a sherwani, you're out.
Wow. Okay.
But I guess when you told mirrors, it kind of clicked to me that a lot of places, if you go to the traditional clothes one, it resembles their architecture or the vibe of the place, the colors used. When you go to Rajasthan, if you see a lot of places, the mahals and everything, they are all lot of windows and mirror, this thing. But South Indian temples I've seen, they have a more brownish shade and the brightness is the color tones are very different, and
Very
our clothes are also somewhere matching to the places we
Yeah.
are. So I guess that matches with the architecture.
So like Kanjivaram sarees, right?
Yeah.
I look
Yeah.
at them and it takes me to South India. I'll tell you why. Because so South India is known for temples. Anything,
Yeah.
right? You go to these temples, you look at these temples, you see this intricate gold embroidery inside the dome of the temple. And then you look at the clothes people there wear. They're all lined with gold.
Mm.
You know?
That's
So I think that's where you carry it from. So my grandmother, she has this sari which is made. I'm sorry, I'm talking about a lot about her because she's like
No, that's actually an
fashion
interesting
icon.
thing. Like, why do you look up to your grandmother so much? No?
Because
What is it
she
about
is-
her that appeals to you so much?
So, this is a little this thing for me because as a kid, I refused to believe that women didn't have equal opportunities because I had seen so many, all women in my family in positions of power always.
Yeah.
So, until I realized the world outside, for me it was unheard of. So, my grandmother, she is literally, the lady boss.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at her and I'm like, okay, if I see someone or I myself am halfway as her, I'm a successful person. Okay, and she carries it all with elegance. Like my grandmother till date wears heels.
Wow.
Okay, like till date. And she just carries herself with so much elegance and so much class that it sort of automatically resonates to you as a person. Like people who have met her can vouch her for that because she has just carried everything so meticulously throughout. So yeah, okay, coming back to her sari fashion. So she has a sari which is made completely out of gold. So in earlier days when you used to take pictures, her sari would not show. It would look like a reflection of light because there were flashes. You had flashes. So if you take a picture of that sari, all you see is white. Because all of it gets reflected back. So she has this picture of her with the chief of police at Air Force dinner. She's sitting on the couch talking to him, and it's a picture. And my grandmother looks like a ghost because she's wearing that sari because it's all white.
The straight up says she looks like a ghost.
Yeah, but she was very pretty, and she still is so pretty. I can't. I look the same way at all women of my household. Like, my sister, my aunt. To me, they're like, epitome of what, people, because they stand up for themselves, for what they believe in, and they do what they say.
I think that is where Indian fashion is different from the West, because the West kind of lost their colors. Now that we have like a this is going around a basic wardrobe where you have a fixed black, white, beige, cream, done. You're done.
Yeah.
Your wallet, your wardrobe is done. And in India, we are again Gen Z. We have one side of the Gen Z which is like all pops of color, and they are like full of bringing back the Y2K trends and like raiding their mothers and their grandmothers' wardrobe. And the another part of the Gen Z is like, we'll stay low key and we'll do what the West does, is dress basic in basic colors. And I think that we are in a way losing that all of our, like, even if I talk about nowadays, my mother is like, she's way into corporate now, so she dresses according to corporate everywhere. So now everything that you'll find in her wardrobe is corporate. It's just coats and blazers and shirts and trousers and very elegant formals. And but my Mossy, who is also a school teacher, she wears these beautiful sarees to school every morning. She dresses up in like so pretty colors. So, and whenever we have a program, she's there wearing like beautiful sarees. And it's not like it's reserved for that program. It's something that she'll wear to school as well. It should make you feel good. It should make you feel like, okay, I feel confident. Like sometimes I would feel very, I would get this masculine energy and I would wear a shirt, a button up that I got from Goa, which is actually made for men, but it has like this white and black designs, a lot of like intricate designs on it. I would wear it. It is so loose. I would wear another loose trouser under it, and I would literally dress like Shin-chan's father in Hawaii. And my friend says the same. Like you actually dress like Shin-chan's father, and I'm like, okay, it looks good. If that is what you perceive of it, then it's fine. I don't really mind being called compared to Shin-chan's father, because if this is Shin-chan's father, then it's great. I love it. And so fashion is not really limit. I can't say that okay, I want to go with this vibe only. Like we have this cottagecore and like this
Oh my
bows and all of
God.
this. I can't resonate with one thing only. Na? It's like I should have the freedom to take up another trend every alter ego every other day. I can dress in formals one day, another day I'll be in a flowy frock. Why not?
So, starting with the first thing, that the West lost its touch. So, I think it was a lot because of the wars.
Yeah.
So, after World War II, okay, Dior started fashion full-fledged again. With, extravagant fabrics and, nipped waists and long skirts. But guess what? People were mad at them. Because they were like, oh, the war has just happened.
Yeah.
So I think the world still hasn't moved on from things that it should have moved on from. In order to accept the world it is right now. As she said, why should I stick to a particular aesthetic? Why should I stick to a particular dress code for the rest of my life? I want to explore, I want to go on a journey, I will do it. Like tomorrow, Karan, I'm not kidding. If you decide to show up in a skirt and a full button down Goa oversized shirt, I would support you through it. Because guess what? That's your choice. You wear what you want. You can't really judge somebody on what they're wearing, except for when it comes to the occasion of it. Like some places you need to be that.
Depends on the situation.
Yeah, like I'll not say that. That will become religious. So yeah, I'm not allowed to say that.
Yeah. So, we've been through a lot of fashion ages of fashion, right? What's a historical fashion trend you would like to bring back that you think would work today?
Bell bottoms.
Yeah.
But I
Fake
think
bell
they're
bottoms.
already back.
Yeah.
Like if you
Yeah,
see
they are
them,
back.
They are back and
Yeah.
they should stay. They
They should
shouldn't
stay.
go. Like I hate skinny jeans. I hate
I
the way
despise
they make
them.
my legs look, and I
Yeah.
hate how uncomfortable it is. There was once a research done that skinny jeans, they cut off blood supply to your legs, and people end up being paralyzed. They have their legs legs amputated.
Yeah.
And it's like if open wide leg trousers, they
Yeah.
make me feel good. They are nice and airy.
I
and
was
like-
about to say the ventilation
That
of
air
it.
circulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
2016 was the skinny jean era, right?
Exactly.
And guess what? I was very influenced. So when I look at pictures of me in skinny jeans, I'm like, Akshat, you look like a sack of potatoes filled to the brim. Like, it is so tight.
That man had that reference like prepared.
No, like, why was
Prepared to say
it?
that.
No, because I said that exactly when I looked at my picture. Like, so tight. And the other trend was wearing high boots with them. And your jeans going over the boots.
Yeah.
I was
Oh
like,
my
Akshat,
God.
I'm so disappointed in you, Akshat. I say that to myself every day. There should be a meme on shorts, me saying I'm so disappointed in you, Akshat. Like, skinny jeans were a trend that should never come back.
Never.
And a
Skinny
trend-
jeans?
And a trend. Okay, sorry, please.
So there's one thing about skinny jeans was during that era, I actually refused to wear jeans. So first 16 years of my life, I have not stepped into jeans. I fought with my mom every day saying, I don't want jeans. And I don't know how I pulled it off, but I'm very happy I did. And today I really like the baggy jeans or the bell bottoms. They go well, and actually it's good air circulation throughout the body. And comparing the heat to the global warming happening.
and I think especially with people my size, skinny jeans were a big. If I was this size back when skinny jeans were a thing, I would not fit into them, and I would not like wearing them
True.
because it defines your body so much in a way you won't like it. What trend do you think should come back?
I like the formal looks. So the long cut formal pants with t-shirt, the shirts stuck in. So if I could dress like that every day, I would.
Same. I think I would get back the entire 80s to 2000s era pack, where people were so comfortable in their baggy shirts and pants and clothes.
And the coats.
Yeah, and the overcoats and the jackets, especially black leather jackets that look like coats. I would get them back.
True.
Any day.
Yeah.
Any day. Yeah.
So, you know, wrapping up this podcast episode, right? If you were to advise me to up my fashion game, what do you think I should do?
First is I will say try formals because that is something that actually goes along well with everyone. So that way you'll be able to get to know what you like.
I would say like cargo pants and graphic tees would look good on you. Would look
Graphic tees.
actually suit you.
Yeah, and I would say go something that is more neck hugging, not
Neck
a very
hugging.
loose collar,
Hmm.
because that sort of gives you a very loafer look. Okay, like something like that, and something double padded on your collar and your shoulders, because that is a look that will look good on you. And then as she said, like you should try an oversized shirt with a cargo pant, and like good chunky sneakers.
Yeah.
chunky sneakers.
Yeah,
Or
Like-
maybe even like if you have Crocs.
even Crocs good.
I don't like Crocs. I don't wear Crocs. I don't support Crocs.
I love Crocs.
Let's go making.
But I can only wear my Crocs with socks.
You what?
So I think that's my advice.
Fair enough.
Only
I'll
work on your
definitely.
hair.
Okay.
I
well,
think that is
getting-
one part that is pretty fine.
I'm kidding on that, of course. That's why.
Wow, Akshay. That, no comments on the hair.
I love
take that
you too.
personally. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys had fun watching this podcast episode. I'm sure a lot of us had fun talking about various fashion
Of course.
trends, and we learned a lot about each other's families, and personally,
Yeah.
I feel we grew closer just by this conversation.
Fair.
You know? So I hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys can catch this episode on YouTube, and for more such episodes, stay tuned, stay subscribed. See you guys. Bye bye.
I wanted to like applaud you, sort of. Hey, can you add this little clip in between?
Go on your
Is it
wish.
still recording?
Yeah, yeah.
Again, also like guys, I would so all of us, Karan, we would like to thank you for being such an amazing host and like giving us interesting questions and downplaying yourself so that we look good. So a big round to you for that.
Thank you so much.
I guess
Wow.
that's it.